And now I'd like to welcome Dr. Odette Harris and our program alumni, Sandy Orozco and Rossmeri Rameriez.
Interesting. So, I love my fashion choices. But so, as women, and I'm going to sit down because these chairs are amazing. I want them in my living room. But so, as women, we know and appreciate that one of the most intimidating things is finally mustering the strength to speak up or speak out and then not be heard. We can all appreciate that and can painfully recall our own experiences and the marginalization and defeat we felt, the lack of power, the lack of influence that overcame us when these moments happened. I think generations of women have shared this experience, sadly. And our goal today at this event is to stop that legacy and instead to join together and to join our voices to instead empower, to nurture, and to give space and value to all of the voices of the girls and women in our community and in our country. And Boys and Girls Club has always been that space. For many in our community, they've always been a place that allowed voices to be heard and have always been a place to provide opportunities. And so I'm very excited that you guys are joining us this morning. And we have two young women here that Boys and Girls Club basically has helped to foster through the years and allowed them to develop their voices. And so today we get to spend like an Oprah moment with them and hear their stories and hear their voices. Although it's going to be a little bit disappointing because as you can see, I'm not Oprah. But I mean, close your eyes. Okay. So we have two young ladies here, and I'm going to introduce them each individually. The first is Rossmeri, and Rossmeri is amazing. She embodies just everything that Boys and Girls Club is about, and also just is the perfect example of dreams fulfilled, one of the key things that the BGCP provides. As a dreamer, Rossmeri grew up feeling like she didn't have a voice, and quite literally, she didn't. She couldn't vote, and she grew up, she and her family enveloped in a sense of fear of being deported if they spoke up. Boys and Girls Club gave her the space, nurtured her, and helped her to find her voice, to follow her dreams. Rossmeri joined Keystone. She became president of Keystone in high school and quite literally found her voice and through self-advocacy gained residency status. Last semester, she graduated from Sacramento State with a bachelor's degree in sociology. And equally impressive, Rossmeri is working now as a coordinator for Dreamer Resource Center at her alma mater, Sacramento State. So just incredible work. And then Sandy Orozco, this is like a full circle moment for me because I met Sandy in 2014 when she was crowned, I don't know what the term is, Youth of the Year for 2014. And I was fortunate enough, along with Michelle's sister, to be two of the judges on that panel. So this is an incredible moment to see Sandy again. Sandy is amazing. She grew up in this area as well. She went to Redwood City Public Schools. And of course, she excelled academically. But the transition to high school was challenging for her. And there were a lot of different things going on at that time, including issues of mental health in her family that provided some of this challenge for her and her family. And the Boys and Girls Club served as an incredible transition for her, a safe place, an escape. And Sandy started coming to the clubhouse in Redwood City every day. And in that space, she too found her voice. She too joined Keystone and became integral to the leadership. And then, as I said, in 2014, she became Youth of the Year, which is essentially like being crowned king. Or queen, sorry. She is now a student at San Jose State studying psychology. And also equally impressive, she works at the Boys and Girls Club as an instructor for literacy in the elementary school. So quite literally giving back and helping others in the community find their voice. So please join me in welcoming these two young women to just sort of hear their experience. That's not them, by the way. That's not them. Okay, so the first question I have for you guys, and this is, I'm going to ask Rossmeri this question. So in the introduction, we talked a lot about the challenges that you faced in finding your voice. As you look back, what challenge stands out the most, and how did Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula help?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us, and thank you, Odette, for the warming introduction. For me, growing up was an undocumented immigrant, came with many challenges, but one in particular that I'm forever grateful with the Boys and Girls Club staff, who are family to me, was my mom suffers from epilepsy. And there was one instance in particular where it was just me to defend for her when she was having one of her seizures. And as an undocumented student, not knowing what to do, my first time handling my mom's situation, I was 14 at the time. I didn't know who else to call. And so I looked to my mentor and my comadre now, Myra, who I called to, and she became my advocate. She helped me find my voice in that instant. She guided me through what were the steps. I was afraid to call the medics because of my status, but she told me that I did not need to fear. And she really helped me own my voice and making sure my mom got the medical attention she needed at that point. So I'm forever grateful to all the family that I've found at BGCP, because it's instances like that they have guided me on numerous occasions, and I could go on about each story, but that will forever be in my heart, that at that moment, a BGCP staff member, my Myra, was there to help me and be my voice.
Sandy, is there something that you might want to share?
For the first question, right? Yeah, so like Rossmeri was saying, when I was going through a difficult situation at home as well, going through things, I didn't have anybody to talk to at home. I couldn't talk to my mom or my dad about what I was feeling or what I was going through, because they had their own things they were going through as well. So I was also able to go to the clubhouse and be able to talk there and kind of like let my voice be heard at the clubhouse, and felt relief that my voice was being heard and someone was there for me.
Thank you. Our next question is, both of you were members of the Keystone program. Tell us about that program and the role it played in your lives.
Well, for me, as it was mentioned, I quickly found home in Boys and Girls Club. I started at the age of 8 at the Boys and Girls Club, and for me, as a young kid, I saw Keystone being like this honor society I could be part of once I got to high school. So I always looked forward to being in high school so I could enroll in Keystone or be part of Keystone. And through mentors, they encouraged me to run for being president of Keystone, and it was the most wonderful experience. It gave me the confidence that I now have. It laid the foundation for me, because through Keystone and through being president of that leadership program, I got to travel through the nation, through different states for the leadership conferences, where I met people from all over our country, and it really developed me, because I thought that I couldn't go beyond my 4 doors due to my status. That was a fear I always had. And with Keystone, full circle in college, it gave me the foundation to apply once I got my residency to study abroad. So that experience I got in Keystone, being able to travel through states, led me to, in college, being able to apply and get accepted to study abroad in London for a whole academic year. And that has been the best experience of my life. I never knew I could go beyond East Palo Alto, let alone Sacramento, and let alone the country. So being in Keystone and high school, and being able to be on my own for my family for a week at a time, it really helped me in college. And it's as small as being able to experience something that most of us don't get the opportunity to do, so that that's my most memorable, is participating in the leadership conferences.
And Sandy?
I agree with Rosemary. She was a year older than me, so I always looked up to her being in the leadership position, and I loved Keystone as well. I participated in it all of high school, and it really gave me a sense of like how to be a leader, how to run meetings. It helped me a lot, and going to those conferences helped me with my voice being heard and advocating for things that I believe in. Like, we did a lot of events at the clubhouse. One of them was focused on literacy. So, yeah.
Excellent. Sandy, well, both of you, but Sandy specifically, you have a lot going on, right? Tell us about your current path or goals, and how do you plan to support other young people in the community in finding their voices?
Currently, I'm a student at San Jose State. I'm graduating in the May. Yeah. And I'm also working part-time at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm focusing on literacy with the students. So right now I have third grade students, and I've been with them since second grade, and we're working on their reading levels because we want them to be at grade level by third grade. So I see a lot of myself in my students and helping them, and I'm giving back and hopefully being role models to the girls in my class.
Excellent. How about you, Rosemary?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
So tell us about your current path or goals and how you plan to support others, young people in your community, to find their voice.
Well, for me, I've been very fortunate to find my dream job. Upon graduating Sacramento State, I stayed there, and I'm currently serving as program coordinator for the Dreamer Research Center. And I am doing what people did for me at Boys and Girls Club. I'm helping these students that come from an undocumented background find their voice and be their advocate, and making sure that they graduate college with the same opportunities that their citizens and residents counterparts have. And it's been an amazing experience being able to do everything that Mike, Sean, Esme, Myra did for me in the Boys and Girls Club, and do those for these students as well, because like them, I see myself in them. I see the fear that I once had. I see the uncertainty that I once had, and I like to think that I'm helping them achieve something that they should be able to do, because they're just as smart, they're just as intelligent, and just as bright as I am. And I think that's been my greatest joy, is having the foundation at Boys and Girls Club to give me the tools I do now, and being able to do the same thing that they did for me at Boys and Girls Club to my students now.
All right, so this is our last question. We are all daughters, and many of us are mothers, except for the men in the room. So we are here today because girls are important to us. And so what don't we know but should about the Boys and Girls Club? So give us an insider perspective on how we can support.
For me, Boys and Girls Club has been more than an after-school program. It has been more than my high school extracurricular activity. It has been my home away from home, my family. I come to them post-graduation 4 years later, and I always, every time I come back, I always have them as my support system. They go beyond what their 4 doors allow them. They really are your family. And I encourage all of you in the room to get involved at some level. I met amazing mentors through Boys and Girls Club that now are my family members. And as a woman of color, as someone from an undocumented resident background, I didn't have the role models in my household to look for continuing higher education. So for you all to get involved in our students' lives and be that role model that so many of us don't have growing up means the world. And it means that if they go to college or not, because just by seeing someone there that has done it. And to me, all the people that I've met at the Boys and Girls Club is that if they could do it, I could do it. And that has been the biggest gratitude I have to Boys and Girls Club, is providing me that example that I didn't have in my household.
Being part of the Boys and Girls Club throughout the years, I've experienced so many role models as well. Having people there to tutor me for my AP Stats class, having SAT prep. So having all that to support, Boys and Girls Club gave me confidence in myself because I had so many people believing in me, confidence I didn't know I had. And it's helped me so much, and I'm so grateful to them. And I know I still go back all the time because I work there, and I go back now all the time. Even if I'm tutoring someone there, or if I'm still getting help, like what classes should I take next semester, or talking to Esme or Mike. So it's been amazing, and I'm so happy to have been part of that and always have them in my life.
Thank you both so much. This has been wonderful. And we're just really grateful that you could be so open with us about your experiences and your path. This is a wonderful event, and having you share that gives us a glimpse into what we can do to help support you. We've just spent time obviously hearing their stories, but it's important to know that not every story can be part of this panel. The chair only fits 2 people. So basically allow us now this opportunity to give you a glimpse into the families and kids of our community and how Boys and Girls Club is helping them find their voices in one of the most quintessential ways, the dinner table. So we're going to switch.
So I didn't have the experience of being able to talk to my parents. My dad was always working nights and my mom wasn't home.
My mom worked 3 jobs.
In my culture, men are taught to not really share their feelings, express themselves. And at home, I didn't have anyone I can even talk to.
We didn't really have a traditional dinner table. We didn't talk about our feelings or what we wanted to do when we grow up.
So from what I've heard in the dinner table, everyone's together as a family. In my case, I've never had that.
Both of my parents were deported when I was 12 years old, so I kind of just had to grow up since then, and I didn't really have a childhood because a lot is expected of you. In a first-generation low-income household where being the first one to go to college was really important, having these dinner conversations are even more important.
I didn't have any support. My father even told me once, he's like, school is a waste of your time and you're really not going to be able to do anything with it. When I would go to the Boys and Girls Club, I would hear the complete opposite, like, school's important, you should use it to your advantage.
The Boys and Girls Club was able to give me that platform of talking about issues that I wasn't able to talk to with my mom because she was so busy.
When I'm sitting around the Boys and Girls Club at their dinner table and I'm crying and I'm telling them like this is hard and I have to go home and I have to figure out like immigration stuff for my parents or things like that, they offer me the comfort and the love that comes at the dinner table. They've asked me how I've been.
It was great to know that I had young African Americans who had went to college, who had done these things, who had played collegiate sports, who just they saw something in me and they believed, because Sean and Jason, they honestly didn't have to stay at James Flood till midnight helping me write high school entry essays.
The Boys and Girls Club have provided me with sometimes a meal because at home I would be scared to even think, am I going to be able to eat that night or not?
Sitting at the table, doing my homework, and my mom was just sitting there with me, staying up as late as I had to stay up, letting me know that she was sorry that she wasn't able to help me with it. You know, I stayed up about 2-3 o'clock in the morning each night, finishing my homework for the next day. I remember one time she just sat there crying about not being able to help me. But when I went to the Boys and Girls Club, I had an amazing support system, both academically and socially. I remember meeting with a tutor about 3 times a week, getting help with any English homework I had, history homework, and that was really big help.
One of the experiences I remember the most was with my mentor, Myra. She was the teen director at the time. Going into my junior year, my older brother was diagnosed with a mental disorder. That year was really tough on me, and I had to kind of like step up as the older sister now because I didn't have my older brother to do that anymore. So I was the older sister for my younger brother. I remember going to the Boys and Girls Club and having Myra there, and I would just go to her and cry a lot of the days because I didn't want to cry at home.
I remember not knowing what college was about. I remember not even wanting to apply to college. I remember not believing in myself. I remember not having the confidence in myself. And then one day I got paired up with Esmeralda as a coach or as a mentor, and right off the bat, she believed in me. She believed that I can even talk about applying to some of the top colleges. She believed that I can compete with some of the best students. She believed that I can do many things that I didn't believe in myself. She had more confidence in me than I did in myself.
The BGCP dinner table is family.
Love.
Trust.
Network.
The second home.
Love.
A safe haven. Family.
Thank you to Sandy and Rosemary for inspiring us this morning. Odette, Michelle, the entire host committee, and I thank you for sharing our vision of a community and world where everyone's voice is heard. I need a clicker, or is someone else clicking for me? The power of my next words are going to be lost if I don't have a clicker. Anyone? It's not going to be as powerful if I don't show the map. What's that? Thank you. Anyway, I can't say how happy I am that you're all here and how sad I am that we have to wait another year to have this event again. I could give the talk without the clicker, it just won't be as good. Thank you. You saw this map a bit earlier, but this is our community. And these are the low-income neighborhoods in our community where we serve over 2,500 members. These are our 3 clubhouses in East Palo Alto, Menlo Park, and Redwood City. And these are our 9 sites where we are at schools on site. And this is where our members' families work hard every day with dreams of having their children have better lives, just like all of us. We all are one community, and we depend on each other. We have invited each of you here this morning because you already are, or we want you to be, a part of Team BGCP. So many of you have already given your time, your expertise, and your financial support to help our youth have all the opportunities that we want our own children to have. For those who are new to BGCP, we hope to leave you with specific and impactful ways that you can get involved. Wrong way. Okay, nothing is more valuable than our time, and we want to offer you many ways that you can spend yours depending on how much of it you have with our youth. As you heard, Esme loves future grads because she leads future grads. This offers an opportunity to coach students through the process one-on-one for a year, from college exploration to enrollment. This is an amazing experience for both mentee and mentor. You'd be involved with one student over the course of the year, helping prepare them for college. After school, we have a very robust program supporting our students with their homework. And both Monday through Friday, as well as Saturdays, are opportunities to work one-on-one with our students as well. This is also a really incredible opportunity to get your young children as well as your teenagers involved. We have many, many teenagers working in our clubhouses Monday through Saturday with our youth. And for your younger children, often people want to get your younger children involved, but there aren't a lot of opportunities where young children can give of their time. your younger children can mentor and work with homework with children younger than them as long as you're there by their side. And some of you might recognize a couple of kids in this picture. One of them is my daughter, who has been out on the field working with kids and has also worked as a homework tutor and in our summer program, as well as those from Girls Middle School here might recognize one of your students in that photo. We need coaches. Team sports gives kids opportunities to increase self-esteem, build leadership, and teamwork skills. You don't necessarily have to have been an athlete yourself to help coach. And Girls' Day this year is March 23rd, 2019. Did I get that right? And this is, this is an opportunity to spend a half day. It's a one-day commitment and be with our young women who are building leadership skills. This year's theme is healthy relationships, and we're hoping that at least 100 people in this room will join us on that day. And there's no better way to learn about our programming than to come to meet Esme, Sandy, see them in action, what they do best. Please come and visit us if you haven't already been out to our sites. Peter, our Executive Director, and Tesha, our Chief Development Officer, are available Monday through Friday afternoons to give you a tour, and bring friends. Finally, students can't benefit from our Boys and Girls Club programming without the generous support from our community. I'm going to go through opportunities of how you can support our programming. $50,000 provides college access for 25 students. This includes SAT preparation, college tours, financial aid workshops through the Future Grads program led by Esme. $25,000 provides the mental health support that you learned about, as well as social emotional learning support. As you heard, we're very fortunate to have a full-time psychotherapist at our Redwood City Clubhouse, as well as programming throughout our programs to help kids develop healthy socio-emotional behavior and skills. $10,000 provides literacy intensive services for 15 students. As you heard as well, Sandy delivers our Building Readers programs for our students at our Redwood City Clubhouse. $5,000 provides STEM instruction for 20 students. We expose our students to STEM programming through partnerships such as that one you heard of with Camp Galileo. I'm sure many of your kids have also attended Camp Galileo. We're very fortunate to have this partnership. $2,500 supports those important sports teams for 20 students. $1,000 provides 5 weeks of summer learning for 2 students. As you heard as well, we partner with local school districts and programs like Camp Galileo. We also have very many summer volunteers. My daughter has volunteered for the past 4 summers. It's a really incredible experience for the high school students, and it's an incredible experience for our members who get to spend time with the high school students. $500 allows for a field trip to local companies to learn about careers. This past summer, they visited LinkedIn, Google, as well as Dr. Odette Harris at the Palo Alto VA. And if you would like to have students come visit you, please let us know as well. Finally, we provide over 350 warm meals every night to our members. Our clubhouses are open to 8. And as you just heard, the importance of the dinner table, we are providing that dinner table every night to our students. Over the summer, we're also providing lunches for high school students. So thank you for joining us today and considering how you will partner with us to help BGCP girls' voices be heard. Please, before you leave, take the time to fill out your engagement cards that are on the table. Also take the time to read your personal notes that we wrote to you. Once you've completed the engagement card, please hand this to your table host, and I'd also like to take the time again to thank all of our table hosts. It's really amazing to see what you all put together this year. And we hope, if you want to be a table host next year, please let us know. The more the merrier. We have some extra space here. And we hope you enjoyed the program and look forward to working with you as members of Team BGCP. Thank you so much.